That alarm clock, we've all been there, haven't we? That internal battle, the pull of the snooze button,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then that feeling, like the day's already rushing past before you're even really awake.
It's almost like starting defeated, isn't it?
Exactly. But what if some mornings aren't fateful because of the sunrise, but because of a choice? A choice you make.
A choice to actually ignite the day with purpose.
Yes, to wake up and really start with intention,
That's a huge shift, right? Going from just reacting to the day.
to actually shaping it. Those mornings where you get up before everyone else, and maybe face yourself before you face the world.
And you light that fire for the day with, well, with small actions, deliberate ones.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what this deep dive is all about today. We're zeroing in on how tiny, consistent actions, specifically 5 morning habits
Yeah.
from the inspirational Jim Rohn,
Hmm.
how they can unlock real personal transformation
Yeah, our mission is to really unpack these habits, look at the simple, powerful ideas behind them,
and see how they moved real people, from just dreaming.
to actually, as the source puts it, architecting their destiny.
So for this deep dive, we're using a really compelling YouTube transcript. It features Jim Rohn's own insights, his wisdom.
Which is powerful stuff. But what makes it click, I think, are the stories. Real people, Ninga, John, Sarah, Min, Lon, who actually put his ideas into practice.
Their experiences really back up Ron's idea that success is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
You must conquer with small steps each morning. Love that.
Okay, so let's unpack this core problem first. This cycle of procrastination that so many of us get stuck in.
Right.
Take Tinka. Her mornings sound, well, painfully familiar. Alarm goes off, she hits snooze. 5 minutes becomes 30, maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm. Happens easily.
And she finally wakes up, the sky's already bright, and she feels rushed behind, like her life is like a wheel stuck deep in a muddy rut of procrastination.
And she couldn't figure it out. She's asking herself, why can't I stick with anything for even just a week? That's relatable.
So relatable. It's that gap, isn't it, between what you want to do and what actually happens.
Yeah, that feeling of life just kind of drifting. You wake up thinking today's the day. Gym, reading, planning.
And then
Poof.
it dissolves, you're reacting again.
Exactly. Trapped.
But then something changed for Ninga. A catalyst. She heard Jim Rohn's voice. Warm, powerful.
And that key phrase from him, if you don't conquer the first hour of the day, you've lost at the starting line.
Wow, that hit home for her. It sparked this decision, this need to try something completely different.
And what's great about Ron is how actionable he makes it. It's not some, vague philosophy floating up in the clouds.
Right? It's grounded.
Totally. His big idea. 5 small things each morning will transform you from a dreamer into a creator of destiny. Simple.
5 small things, not one giant leap. That feels doable.
Exactly. It shifts the focus from these huge, maybe overwhelming goals.
To just managing today. This morning, actually.
Yeah.
Huh?
And that's where Nenga started. 5:00 a.m., alarm blares. This time, no snooze.
Tough moment.
Oh, definitely. Sleep's pulling her back, but she forces herself up, opens the window, gets that cold air jolt.
It's easy to dismiss small habits, isn't it?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what difference can that really make? But Ron insisted they were powerful. So what's the very first one?
The foundation.
Okay, the first habit, and it really is foundational, is setting clear intentions, goals, but specifically writing them down.
Writing them. Why writing?
Well, as Ron said, vague goals give rise to chaotic actions. Writing isn't just about memory. It's a cognitive commitment.
Okay.
When you physically write it, it moves from just a fleeting thought to something tangible,
Mm.
like signing a contract with yourself almost. It activates different parts of your brain, makes it more real, solidifies your purpose.
I get that. Golan's experience shows it perfectly. 5:00 a.m., hand trembling a bit, she writes down her top 3 goals.
What were they again?
Completing a big company project in 3 months, jogging 30 minutes daily, and dedicating 15 minutes just to family time.
Okay, specific. Yeah. And looking at those words on the paper, she said for the first time in ages, her goals felt clear like a map. That shift from just wishing,
To having a path.
and others too. Min, the office worker, you'd write a daily goal like finish that report by 3 p.m. Simple but clear.
Keeps you focused for the day.
Ann Lan, the single mom, she wrote down her savings goal for her dream shop. Making it tangible seems key.
It absolutely is. And then moving from mental clarity, Ron believed physical energy is crucial. He said, physical energy is the currency of will. The lazy will always be slaves to emotion.
Ooh, powerful.
Which brings us to habit number 2, awakening the body. Physical activity.
Right. This one can be tough for me sometimes, but I see the point.
Doesn't have to be huge, just enough to get things moving.
So 5:10 a.m., Gunn puts on her sportswear. Forces herself, really. 10 minutes of exercise, rock music playing.
How did it feel?
Heavy at first, breathless. But afterward, she felt this strong blood flow like a small fire lit in the winter night, that warmth, that energy.
That initial struggle, but then feeling better afterward,
Mm-hmm.
that says a lot. And it's not just physical. Think about John's story.
Okay, John.
He hated exercise,
Yeah.
hated it, but he started doing just 10 push-ups daily.
10 push-ups, okay.
Muscles screaming, sweat dripping, but after only a week, he noticed something weird. His heart rate was up, sure, but his mind felt calmer.
Interesting.
Yes,
Less frantic.
exactly. Ron's insight there was discipline with the body teaches you discipline with the mind. Movement regulates mood, clears your head.
And Sarah's story builds on that, right? The mental side.
Yeah, day 45 for her. She gets a bad cold, feels awful, wants to just stay in bed.
Totally understandable.
But she remembers Ron's advice. Don't let emotions control actions. Let actions shape emotions.
So she pushed through.
She did. Just 5 simple yoga moves.
Yeah.
And felt stronger afterward, not weaker. It's building that grit, overriding that immediate, I don't feel like it.
Okay, so you've got clear goals. You've energized your body.
Okay.
What's next?
Nourishing the mind. Habit 3. Ron's advice. Let masters whisper in your ear each morning instead of rumors or social media drama.
Intentional input, not just scrolling.
Precisely. Be proactive about what you feed your brain. Don't just let distractions take over.
Makes sense. So, 5:20 a.m., Inga opens a book she hadn't touched in ages, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Reads it slowly.
And what happened?
A big realization. How long she let her life just drift, pulled around by emails, calls, urgent things.
Like a rudderless boat, I think the source said?
Exactly. Instead of being guided by her own principles. That's a powerful shift from just consuming passively to learning intentionally.
In that intentional learning, it changes your inner conversation. John found that too, reading Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
You realize, wait, maybe I'm not failing. Maybe I'm just learning to succeed slower than others. That reframing is huge.
Totally changes your perspective. And Sarah, facing all that debt, those failed startups.
She turned to philosophy. Nietzsche, Marcus Aurelius. To learn how to face suffering, basically.
Wow. Heavy stuff for the morning.
But purposeful. She wrote in her journal, when you know why, you can endure anyhow. That deep thinking builds serious resilience.
That's incredible. Okay, so clear goals, energized body, nourished mind. What's habit 4?
This one's about imagination. Visualizing the future, seeing success, actively picturing your ideal self, your ideal future.
So not just daydreaming.
No, it's more focused. Jim Rohn put it powerfully. The brain doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. Show it your best version, and it will lead you there.
Like neurological priming.
Exactly. You're training your brain to spot and move towards opportunities that match that vision you're creating.
So how did Ngata do this?
5:35 a.m. Eyes closed, sitting straight, deep breath. She pictures herself in a new office, holding a successful contract, friendly colleagues around.
Okay.
Then she pictures her family laughing around the dinner table, kids' laughter, and she felt this warmth spread through her. Real hope, real possibility, maybe for the first time in years.
Wow. That sounds powerful.
And John used this too with his gratitude journal, writing things like, thankful for a job to strive for, clear-headed enough to change. That actively shaped his mental state, helped heal his self-doubt.
So it's about directing your thoughts intentionally.
Yes, and Min visualized becoming a manager. Lon pictured her future shop, bringing those aspirations into focus mentally.
Okay, shaping the mental reality, which leads nicely into the last one.
The 5th and final habit, planning and adapting. Ron called it the art of bending without breaking.
So it's not rigid.
No, it's about regularly reviewing your plan and adjusting it. This is where the vision meets the day-to-day reality, making sure your actions line up.
The flexibility within the discipline. I like that.
Yeah. So 5:38 a.m., Njah checks her list, ticks off the first 4 habits, then she pauses at number 5. Adjust the plan.
What did she adjust?
She realized her big company project goal was too broad for daily action, so she broke it down. Added, Week 1, research competitors. Week 2, develop main idea.
Breaking it down into manageable steps.
Exactly. As the sky got brighter, she smiled. Only 38 minutes had passed, but she felt proactive, purposeful.
That daily review is so important, isn't it? to stay on track.
Absolutely critical for long-term progress.
Hmm.
John found this too. Daily planning helped him learn to say no
No to what?
to distractions, useless drinking sessions, meaningless complaints. It helped him protect his time and energy. It wasn't about being harsh, just intentional.
Setting boundaries.
Right. And Min and Lon both made daily task lists part of their morning routine, keeping those small steps aligned with the big picture. It keeps you agile.
You know, the ripple effect of these habits, they seem small, but the impact described is huge.
It really is. After just 30 days, Inga was waking up automatically. No struggle.
Wow.
Her notebook, filled with check marks next to goals. She felt fitter, her mind was clearer. She finally got what Ron meant. Persistence is not enduring, but deliberate repetition.
Like drops filling a bottle, little by little.
Exactly. Those 5 small keys unlocked her willpower.
It wasn't just Ninga, right? John, the salesman who was about to be fired.
Yeah. 6 months later, he's in a meeting sharing this story. Says, I didn't become a Superman, but succeeded in not giving up. And his director, the one who wanted him gone, recognized his discipline.
Incredible turnaround. And Sarah, rock bottom, $100 K in debt from failed businesses.
Crying in her garage, yeah. Here's Ron. When everything falls apart, go back to basics.
So she did the habits. Meditating, reading philosophy, exercising even when sick.
Remembering that quote, don't let emotions control action.
Let actions shape emotions.
Yeah. 3 months later, she nails a pitch for a new business plan. Signs a $2 million contract.
$2 million from rock bottom.
Ron compared persistence to waves. They seem useless, hitting a rock again and again.
But over years.
They wear it down. It's that compounding effect. Small efforts adding up.
And Min, the tired office worker, he found clarity, got a big project. Lon, the single mom, started online sales, moving closer to her dream shop.
Their stories really show it, don't they? You don't need special talent or perfect conditions.
Just what? A little discipline and faith in small things.
Exactly. It circles back to Ron's wisdom.
Yeah.
Your life changes through what you read and the people you meet.
And that success isn't some sudden explosion of passion.
No, it's a small flame lit daily, consistently.
So recapping, Jim Rohn's 5 small habits: set clear goals, write them down,
Move your body, get energized,
nourish your mind, intentional learning,
visualize your future, see
They're-
success.
and plan and adapt your day. They're not huge things.
Not grand gestures, just consistent, deliberate repetitions that build real momentum. Small acts of self-conquest every single day.
You know, the sunrise is always seen as a symbol of rebirth. But maybe only those who dare to wake up before dawn really grasp its magic.
Good thought.
So the question for you listening is, tomorrow, 5:10 a.m., world still quiet, snooze button, or those 5 small keys from Jim Rohn?
It's a choice, isn't it?
It is. One person in the story said, I still hate waking up early, but I love the feeling of conquering myself at 5 a.m. Remember Ron's warning. Tomorrow is the most deceptive promise. Persistence begins today.
So, what story will you choose to write?